What's up guys, Barry Gaming here, back with some more AFK Journey, and yes, we are continuing our testing here today with the Necrodrakon. So as you guys have probably seen, she is of course taking over all those top spots, literally all of the top spots. If you want to see kind of what the previous team was kind of rocking with the Lily May setup and everything, this is a really good example. You'll notice there are no healing supporters outside of the Rainier in this type of team, but this was pretty much the best. And it's funny how the addition to Mikola has actually made Smokey even better, because a lot of these situations where Smokey was not being used, like in the Necrodrakon, has now made him S+ tier. So we went from like okay and really godly in other areas to just godly in almost every single game mode. I feel like that's really what it's been. It's not like she's a replacement for Smokey. She makes Smokey a better and more viable option because of the way this works out. You'll be able to see the amount of damage we can do with this type of team here. Technically it'll be better than our previous record with this type of team, and you can see usually you have the heroes dying off towards the end besides the main damage dealers, and we still get a very respectable damage number here. You're gonna see we're doing about 44 billion damage, which is really good. Lily May being the main hard carry here. However, as you guys have noticed, Mikola has made this meta happen, and now we're actually swapping a Smokey. And again, this has actually pushed this hero, Scarlita, completely back out of the meta. It's funny how she's been like the meta hero to use for so long, and now we're doing a team like this. We're literally swapping and giving bonus energy generation from the Freyesto to our Smokey to put him way up at the front. We're having Mikola behind the illusion Freyesto for the extra damage reduction, and Lily May is just fine doing what Lily May does, which is just staying alive, teleporting everywhere. And we do get the attack bonus from both Mikola and from the Smokey, so we're getting a lot of buffs onto our Lily May to help level her ability up, to get her stacks built up, her growth built up much faster. So it's kind of crazy how Mikola has just made Smokey like the best hero in the game, because there were a few game modes, mainly like some Dream Realm locations, where Smokey was not the best to use, and Mikola has now made it so that he is used. In combination, their healing is just insane. Now again, they still die off, but you can see how much damage they did. And the difference here, we actually have a new record from earlier today, 45.5. That is a huge difference. So I think that's one of the things that we're going to talk about at the end of this week, is her damage. Yes, her damage did end up flopping pretty hard. I don't know why or what is going on with her damage ability, because again, the whole reason why we thought she was going to be overpowered was because of her exclusive, this Combat Fury on allies doing damage based on her attack. And I mean, she's got decent attack. Like, her attack value is 353 million. I mean, if you really want to compare it, 486, that's not like a huge difference. That's like what, 25% less. But if you actually take a look, let me go to our maulers real quick to make this easier. Actually, Smokey's at the top. Take a look at Smokey's attack. Where's his stats? Smokey's attack is 355, and his ability does up to 200% of his. That's basically the equivalent to 4 allies being in range here. It's not that bad. It's not a huge difference right there. Like, this is actually a really good amount of damage it should potentially be. I think something's not working right, because we've had so many new heroes come out with their exclusives literally not working properly. And if this is bugged, that's going to be insane, because again, we have so many allies adjacent to the enemy. This should be doing a lot of damage, because I'll show you guys one more time in the Necrodrakon. Everybody is standing next to the boss, and I don't even know if it counts the illusion either, but even if it doesn't, we have Smokey, we have her, and we have one hero. That should be 100, no, that should be 100 and, no, 240, wait, 180% of her attack ticking every single second, because there's no duration limit to it, and we have control of the arena and everything. Once she gets her first ultimate off, we're just off to the races. Yet somehow Smokey is still out damaging her with a 10-second window of damage. Unless his ability's not being capped off his attack, which might be the thing. It might be that Smokey is broken. But even when we talk, like, look at Ludovic's damage and everything, Ludovic's doing a ton of damage with his ability, and it's very, very similar. And again, we're just keeping our damage dealers alive long enough to get some really crazy damage in here, and it's becoming very, very strong. Look at that. We actually got up to 3rd now, and I think with a little bit more RNG, we could get even better and higher up on the list, because I think right now we are what? Just behind. I don't think we can get to that number there. We definitely can never catch up to Cerulean. He's always insane. But the nice thing is we're staying in like the top 20 regularly, which is really important. The top 20 is the top rewards in our district, and we're basically staying in the top 20 overall, which is pretty good. It's kind of insane though that like only 3 people from our server are in the top 20. Because there's some stiff competition in our district. But yeah, it's just, again, I'm going to make a whole video about this probably on Monday. Mikola has made Smokey the best hero in the game, hands down. You know how we go over the tier list all the time, and like a lot of the heroes have like S or S plus across the whole way. Smokey's had a few of those categories where it did dip down. The only place where I think he's still going to be slacking though is PvP, because there's so many interrupts that it just completely takes away his healing aura, which is his entire toolkit. If he's not having his healing aura, he's just a completely useless hero. But this is kind of crazy. This is awesome. And this is really, really cool to see. The only thing we could try doing maybe is swapping the location. Like maybe swapping Mikola to keep her alive a little longer. Because, again, our damage is pretty steady here. Occasionally we get a little bit higher of a hit. But this is just really, really awesome. This is really good. What happens if we swap the Mikola instead and we give the oh, no. What am I doing? Am I stupid? I'm stupid. Just ignore this right here. Smokey's not getting swapped. He's not healing anybody. So this is kind of weird, but because of the positioning there, nobody died. And I really don't understand why that's the situation. At the end of the battle, nobody died. That was so weird. I kind of want to do this. No, wait. I want to do this. Yeah, there we go. Energy over here. Damage reduction on the Mikola. I want to see if we can keep the Mikola alive and just have like the Smokey not in melee and see if that makes any type of difference here. I'm intrigued because, again, the end of that failed attempt of me putting Smokey in the bottom corner was oddly enough better, because I think we had the heroes more separated, so there were less AoE hits going on, which meant the heroes were actually able to survive. I think Smokey is getting hit with the stuff in this position though, so we could shift him maybe 1 spot over. But it was a lower damage number, as you guys saw. It was like 4 billion less, so if it's less, that's not important. But you can see right here, we just survived that hit, which we normally died. But the damage is not as good. And again, it's weird. We survive longer, but somehow don't do as much. Kind of weird. So yeah, that's interesting. Necrodrakon is done. On to tomorrow, which is going to be Snow Stomper, and we finally made the full rotation. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time.